Every human changes their behaviour when in certain situations, or with certain people. All humans at points suppress unhappiness or pain until it's safe to express it. Autistic masking includes all this, but it's also something far deeper and pervasive. It's best understood as the way in which an autistic person may avoid negative attention, stigma, bullying or discrimination, succeed in social settings of school and in their community. It has long been perceived that masking means that some autistic people want to fit in, or want to appear more neurotypical in social situations. This is only a small part of what may be happening. There's an illusion of choice, as autistics are unwittingly forced into this behaviour. And there is a hubristic assumption from neurotypical people that autistic people want to be neurotypical. Masking looks very different for each autistic person depending on the expectations of other people, the experiences of that autistic person, the social niche they may have been categorised into, and the different co-occurring conditions they experience. It happens a great deal in schools. This is because schools can be places where there is a lot of socialisation and social development, a large amount of sensory overwhelm, and expectations to conform to behavioural standards which might conflict with natural autistic behaviours. In a school environment, a masked autistic person can look like the quiet child, the quirky, odd or weird child, the child who seeks perfection in their work, the annoying child who asks persistent questions, the class clown, the child with challenging behaviour, the child who fawns and is desperate to please, and many more. Masking involves many complex behaviours that are constantly in motion. It's completely unique to each person and mostly occurs unconsciously as a response to trauma, correction, perception of non-acceptance, direct non-acceptance, invalidation, and stigma. Rather than something that's put on, it is a constant experience framed around autistic people projecting a version of themselves to others that experience informs them others deem acceptable. This phenomena is experienced by all autistic people regardless of gender, intellectual ability or co-occurring conditions. It can involve suppressing or changing. This means fundamental aspects of who you are, suppressing or changing how you communicate and what you communicate, suppressing or changing how you behave, including exaggeration, suppressing or changing your emotional responses, including disconnecting from them, suppressing or changing how you move. It could mean suppressing or redirecting your responses to the sensory environment, and also to pain. It could mean utilising certain clothes or makeup. It could mean seeking to meet others' needs consistently or being unable to say no. It may mean leaning into gender-conforming behaviours and interests, and it may also mean dissociating from all of this. From a school perspective, some of these behaviours may look like behaviours that should be encouraged because they may be deemed as valuable life skills, but what may be perceived as gains can cause further problems down the line. It's often families that are the first to recognise that their child might be masking. Professionals around the child are often unaware that it's possible for the child to mask all of the time in some parts of their life. Parents may report this discrepancy by describing vastly behavioural differences between school and home. These behavioural discrepancies are called the Coca-Cola effect because the suppression and behavioural changes experienced by the child all day are analogous to a bottle of cola being shaken all day. When you shake a bottle of cola and remove the lid, the liquid inside explodes and overflows. When an autistic child suppresses all day and then reaches their safe place or person, much like the cola in the bottle, the suppressed dysregulation and overwhelm can explode and overflow too. Masking is a tool utilised to keep autistic people safe, but it uses up enormous energy reserves which carries lifelong negative implications on the emotional and physical well-being of autistic people, as well as having negative psychological impacts. Research indicates that autistic masking is a lead-in to the high rates of suicide and poor mental health experienced by autistic people. To counter this, it's imperative to validate and promote innate autistic social skills across the school setting, to help autistic people to understand their own needs and collaborate to find ways to express them, To curate safe environments by understanding and meeting the student's individual sensory needs and providing tools to mitigate sensory overwhelm. By validating the student's emotional differences and supporting them with their emotional understanding. By acknowledging autistic learning and attention differences by providing opportunities for a student to focus on their interests and utilising those interests in teaching and learning. To facilitate quality and expansive communication choices by exploring alternative forms of communication that don't rely on speech, such as AAC apps. To empower autistic people with agency and autonomy by supporting them to understand themselves and their experiences through an autistic lens, and supporting others to understand them, to validate their experiences, along with excluding normative expectations.